First, thank you very much for giving
You're
us
welcome.
this chance again for this interview. It's our great honor to have you
And my
here.
pleasure.
Yes, yes. Um, uh, so we all know you are VVIP for this conference. So you must attend or lead a lot of important discussions about this, how to improve the mountain tourism industry. Yeah. So for this year, is there any chance that you can share some new information with us? Maybe leak some secret first.
Well, as a matter of fact, mountain tourism
Uh-huh.
is changing quite rapidly.
Yes.
First, because there is a growing interest in the population. This
Yeah.
is true here in China. It is true in Asia because,
Yes.
of course, the natural resources of Asia are fantastic. A lot of perspective and possibilities here in China, and with this important objective that is coming, which is the 2020 Winter Olympics. So that's a great challenge for China.
Yes.
And of course, the natural resources of Asia, the Nepal, Everest, India, that creates a very strong competition in the region. And all around the world, whether we're talking about people in Europe, people in the US, people in South America, are interested in these growing possibilities that mountain tourism is giving. Not only in winter, through winter sports and through the very healthy possibilities that mountain tourism creates, but also in summer. You have a lot of people that are interested by the wellness that can be created by mountain, also by the possibilities of sports, new type of sports that are possible now through mountain tourism. So there is a wide challenge to try to meet all these requirements in the different resorts. And of course, the province of Guizhou has a lot of possibilities. It
Yes.
has very important resources, and it's important for people to know more about it here in China, also in Asia, as well as around the world. So I believe that we want to put more the focus this year and the coming years on wellness and the health possibilities.
Okay.
Because of course, whether for the elderly people, whether for the young people, whether for the family people, or anybody that wants to stay in good health, mountain tourism are creating a fantastic possibility to keep in good and strong shape. We are living in a world where the challenges of environment is growing. We are
Yes.
all scared by global warming,
Yeah.
by the killing of biodiversity. So mountain tourism has a even stronger responsibility in keeping this fantastic capital that we have, which is natural resources. We need to keep what we have, and we need even to improve furthermore the different possibilities. So we are all working together in order to upgrade the resorts, upgrade the number of facilities and possibilities that can be access to here in China as well as around the world, and creating a platform that people may have access to and get all the information, all the perspective and possibilities that they want. I want to stress a point that is very important. It is the fact that the Guizhou province has made a lot of important investment, and we are seeing here in Chigny the number of possibilities, the interest from the leadership that is being seen very strongly, and we want to develop that even more. So I think it's a real challenge for everybody, official people, professional people, and all the tourist industry. We have to meet the challenge, and we have to face the expectation of the people.
Yeah, yes. That's a big issue. It's not so easy to
Of
solve the
course.
problem. It's kind of like a global issue. It's
Absolutely.
not, yeah,
Absolutely. But that's why, through the International Mountain Tourism Alliance that I'm chairing,
Yes.
we want to share more information in order for people to understand that we need to have good practices. This is true for professionals. It is true also for tourists. Respecting nature understanding nature, loving nature. And then, of course, we might be able to share together all the benefits that we can get from mountain tourism.
Yeah, yes, just keep the balance.
Exactly.
Yes. So for Xinyi, we have working on this part, on this field for many years, and there is a very important role in this, in this industry. You attended a lot of, important, say, maybe cooperation or discussion. So looking back to the, the growth line for Xinyi in this field, what do you think about that? And what's the advantage or the part that we need to prove?
Well, I've been here in Xinyi for 3 times, so I have had a chance to see the progress that was made in
Yes.
the awareness, in the development facilities,
Yes.
and I must say that a lot has been done. A lot has been done, and we have now much better standards than the one we used to have. So this development allows a huge number of tourists to come and to have access to all the different facilities through many different ways, whether it's for holidays, vacation, whether it's for health problems. People can really have access to a number of possibilities that are much wider. Sport facilities, which is also growing very fast. And I believe that the fact that we are working all together with different partners, private company, public companies, everybody is looking for the same objective. And I believe this creates a new trend, a new perspective, and of course, new possibilities.
Yes. So any other suggestions about how to improve our global imagination in each?
Well, I think one of the things we are willing to develop as the International Mountain Tourism Alliance is to have an internet platform that will allow to exchange good practices. We want to be able to say, okay, this has been very successful in this country or in this resort. We should really take inspiration from this model. So everybody will have the knowledge what it works, what doesn't work, what are the difficulties we should avoid in order to elevate the standard, the common standards. So that's about sharing information, sharing regulations, sharing policies, and try to get the most out of our own experiences. If I take the example of France, where we have a long tradition of mountain tourism, whether in the Alps, in the south of France, we have many resorts, and this for many years. So we have taken a lot of experience, and we've been sharing this experience over the years. Of course, the more we can connect these different experiences with the situation here, the more we might be able to improve and to avoid the difficulties that we have been facing ourselves.
Okay, thank you much for your sharing and very valuable suggestions.
Thank you.
Andrew, are there any project under discussion about cooperation in the future or this year?
Well, as a matter of fact, we have created last year the Day for International Mountain Tourism. And we had last year this day celebrated in Nepal, which has also fantastic opportunities as far as mountain tourism. And we want to reproduce this important event every year on the 29th of May, which is the day of mountain tourism that has been chosen. And we might look this year to celebrate this 29th of May here in China, and looking for a place which might be the best for such an event. So we have a certain number of projects that we are working on, and we are keeping the path and looking forward for this new event this year.
Yeah, we were looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Any project is under your, guidance will be great, I guess.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I read about one of your articles. You talk about sustainable development is not an easy job. it's like people are getting aware about the conflict more and more. People say economy need to be improved, sure, but it has the bad side effect. So it's kind of conflict with the environment protection.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I think France has a lot of how say good experiences. Could you share some experiences with us?
Well, as a matter of fact, there are two tracks that we should work on at the same time. One is for public policies to integrate more and more the environmental constraints as far as the development of agriculture, development of industry. We should really take into account the consequences on the environment. And in France, for example, we are very much putting strong guidances for agricultural policies, industrial policies, in terms of respecting clean air, respecting a certain degree of global warming, in having guidance, for example, for the use of pesticides. So there are a certain number of constraints that we want to integrate into our policies. But also, and this is very important, to have the attitude of each one of us being more in line with the needs of nature, whether it's respecting water resources, not using waste and putting waste into nature without being cautious. So this is part of a change of mentality. And we have to consider that each of one can do something for the respect of environment. This is not just something that has to be applied by officials. This is each citizen. For example, in separating the waste and making sure that this waste is not going to be put into nature, which might create a lot of problem of recycling. This is some reflexes that we should have. So we should be more aware of the consequences and make sure that the young generation, because we might help improving change through education. This has to be started very young. We have to respect nature. We are, as mankind, part of nature. And if we want to have harmony, we need really to respect nature. We've seen in the last decades the consequences of a situation getting out of hand, for example, on the pollution of air. When you look back the situation in Beijing, for example, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was really damaging for health.
Yes.
Now things are improving. But
better.
we should really elevate the standards because we are going to take the benefits, each one of us, in our daily life in terms of quality of our life. Quality of life, but also quality of our health. This is important for us. It is important for our children and for the next generation. So it's an overall attitude, overall policies that should be put in place and that might really completely change the pattern of the current situation.
Yes, you give us a very important keyword is education.
Education.
And solve the problem from the original.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, talking about
Because
yes.
we can be part of the solution,
Yes.
but we have to know, each one of us,
Yeah.
we are part of the problem.
Okay.
So we should be careful. We should be aware. And we should tell our children, be respectful of nature. This is our life. So we should respect it.
Okay. So is there any work are being done by education? I mean, here in Qianxinan to improve the
Absolutely. I think they are growing and important campaigns. Something like 15, 20 years ago, the awareness started to grow.
Yes.
And now we are seeing the difference because we can see the results, the progress that are being made. So we should be encouraged.
Yes.
When we see the situation is bettering, concerning the weather, concerning global warming, concerning the pollution in the cities, situation is getting better. And I think this is the challenge for every citizen, of course, for every official, but this is a global challenge that we should meet together.
Yeah, start by myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one by one. Then you,
Anything that you can do yourself,
yes.
you should do it to as a contribution to every one of us, to the collectivity. So that's about common responsibility. We should be responsible and we should be careful in educating people around us, telling them, oh, don't put this paper on the side. This is going to be a problem. Take it in your hand and put it in a basket. These are daily attitudes that we should change.
Okay, so we're looking forward for you to come more and more and tell
We'll
us,
do that.
yeah, more about the importance
I'll
of
be pleased.
yes,
I'll
of
be pleased. Yes.
protecting the environment. Okay, so the last question is, if you can summarize your main concern or your main suggestions to our tourism industry, so what that would be?
Well, I think what's very important at this point for tourism industry and mountain tourism industry is to create facilities and to develop the infrastructures, because of course we need to better adjust and develop the infrastructure to be able to respond to the needs. They are growing needs.
Yes.
Because the level of life here in China as well as around the world is getting higher, people want to enjoy vacation. People want to have a share of a better life, of a better quality of life. And of course, when they have vacation, they want to spend their vacation in a beautiful place. Guizhou province has fantastic possibilities to offer. So we need to improve the facilities, hotels, resorts, sport facilities, but everything should be done not as fast infrastructures, but long-term sustainable infrastructures that should be really created in order to be able to last without damaging the environment. Whether we are talking about aesthetics, you know, a beautiful environment should be kept beautiful. So we should really make things that are going to last and that we are going to enjoy all together. So the key word for me today is responsibility. Money
Okay.
and profit should not be the only key word, but service, good service to the population, sustainability, and responsibility. Whenever we have these facilities, everyone should be respectful and taking care of such facilities. It is for the benefit of everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the valuable information. The journalists
Thank
will
you.
be very happy because they can write out different angles of articles and
Thank
to
you.
tell the people. This is another way for the education.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course, it's important.
Yeah. Thank you very much.